welcome to the Shaman and the Mermaid, and we got your astrological forecast for the end of August through September, and we're closing out eclipse season. We've got a little busyness in here, but we're coming on some big energies that are kind of transformational for the next couple years, but they relate back to the last couple half decade and decade of time. And before we unpack that, I'll tell you what our theme is. It's powerful but peaceful, Sthiram Sukham. So we gave you a little English, a little yoga. Sthiram Sukham can sometimes be translated as strong and soft, or
steady and easy.
Steady and easy. And I'll give you our aspects up front. On the 27th, we have the Pisces Full Moon, which will be a partial lunar eclipse here in Denver. You'll see the totality around 10-12 p.m. and it'll be opposite of the Sun and Mercury, so they'll be in Virgo. And then on the 31st, we kind of have a rhythmic energy that only comes around every 7-8 years, and that's Jupiter trine Saturn. It's a nice energy. Saturn is in Aries and Jupiter is in Leo, and this kind of sets the rhythm of the decades. Once a decade they come together for a trine, and it's after a square and a conjunction or an opposition. And so we're coming out of 2020 to 2025. That was the tense period into this trine is opening up. And that's the Sthiram Sukham. Saturn is the Sthiram and Jupiter is the Sukham. And then we have another combo like that, that's a 3-year energy. We have the Uranus trine Pluto. This is a 3-year energy. We're about halfway into it. And this is a once every 60-year cycle. It started back in the 60s, 1966, 65. When they came together, we had the square in 2015. And now they're coming into this other big breath. Uranus is kind of the, I don't know if he's the sweetness or the strong.
He kind of stirs the pot.
He stirs the pot, and then Pluto is the soul, or what's coming out of the magical, mystical underworld for us to be seen. Then on Saturn, on September 10th, it's a full day. We have Venus going into Scorpio. We have Mercury going into Libra. We have Uranus retrograde, thank you, and the new moon in Virgo. That's a full day. Keep an eye out for that one, a little ceremony. We'll talk about what it all means. And then the big dog thing that I think is also major to note for those of us is that Chiron, which is now retrograde since August 7th, is going to go back into Aries for the last time for 51 years.
Jeez.
This is the end of an 8-year cycle. Chiron went in there in 2018, went into Taurus this past year, going retrograde. It's the last little scrape, and then he's going to go forward in Taurus for the next 7 years. And that is on the 17th. We have the equinox, equal day, equal night on the 22nd, and that takes us to the 26th, 7th for the next full moon. What do you got on all that? Is the Sthiram Sukham powerful but peaceful?
Well, when I looked at all the astrology, I felt like, well, we can say the aspects, and it's good because it's a nice practice as maybe budding astrologers or even seasoned astrologers to just kind of keep in your awareness what's happening above. So those are announced and said, but for most people, those aspects don't really mean anything. So then you just take what's the overarching theme, or what lens should we look through for this next moon cycle, or next 30 days till we come back around and report from full moon to full moon. And the lens that we believe to look through is that as the energy is shifting and we're in transformation of a species, as our humanity is evolving, and we're always evolving. Everything, the wheel is always turning. But sometimes there's these catapults that kind of slingshot you around a little bit faster, a little more sudden energy shifts. And we're in one of those right now. And we're going to be in it for a while. It's not like a quickie like it sounds like it would be. It's something that is a long but powerful and intense shift. And who knows how long. It could be what's, in our mind's eye is a species that lives roughly 75 to 85 years on the planet. The next 10 years could feel like it. But for a bigger picture of something, it could feel like 100 years that we're in this. And then in even broader perspective, it could seem like a whole, like 1,000 years. When you look at some of the huge shifts that have come upon the planet, it's all relative to our lens. So right now we're looking at what's the lens for this 30 days. And with the energy shifting, we feel the universe is saying, look through the lens of be powerful, be that Sthiram energy, strong and steady, and hold your ground. Really ground down and get rooted. It's important because the world is swirling, the energy, the frequencies are swirling there. It's like we're getting this cosmic download that is up leveling us to our next capacity or potential as a species. And so it's important to stay steady, to find your roots, to ground down. Get out in nature like this. Take walks. This is home base. Get to home base. So Sthiram, in your power, but at the same time sukam. Very easy, very sweet, very soft. Find softness. Let everything kind of drape off your bones instead of holding rigid. And that's the sukam. Sukam is where we get the word sugar. It's a sweetness to it all. So powerful, but this peace. Just allow things to flow. Allow it to unravel and reveal itself. That's the ritam. That's the way the cosmic flow goes. It's a natural rhythm to things, like the seasonal change, like we're coming into for fall equinox on the 22nd. It's a natural flow, a shift. The leaves are going to fall. We're in somewhat of a meek monsoon season, but those seasonal changes come. Same with our evolution of a species. We're in that. Allow it to flow. Stay grounded, Sthiram. Find the peace and easy sukam, Sthiram Sukham. Powerful but peaceful.
Amen.
All right.
Well unpacked.
Until we see you the next time, enjoy this powerful but peaceful time. Hopefully we'll see you in the studio or coming around for one of our teacher trainings that start up here. The 200 hour begins on September 11th. And then we are cruising on to Spain for retreat. We still have a couple rooms left if you'd like to join us for that. And that begins on September 17th. So maybe we'll see you there, if not the studio. In the meantime, have a blessed day and namaste.
Namaste.
We were born before the wind, also younger than the sun. Yeah, the bonnie boat was one as we sail into the mist.